crazy. Look what seeing, dog.
That nigga got a fucking kaiju.
Look, I feel on them kaiju. Twerk, baby, twerk, Harlem kaiju. Work it, girl, work.
This is a Harlem kaiju. No. Here we go. Joseph Quinn addresses how his portrayal of the Human Torch would differ from Chris Evans' version. He was branded as his womanizing, devil-may-cry guy or care guy, but is that sexy these days? I don't think so. This version of Johnny is less callous with other people's feelings.
So he's a faggot. And we're demonetized. Just like that.
You were cool like Condoleezza Rice. You were cool, can't forget about Kanye.
Tranny demons.
Holy shit.
So, long story short, this
faggot.
version of the Human Torch is a booty bandit.
Yeah, basically. They just turned the Human Torch into a full-blown booty bandit.
Yeah, you can't
So,
make that.
in other words, he's not Johnny Storm.
He's not Johnny Storm.
He's not Johnny Storm.
That was
Let
the
me tell
whole
y'all,
point of Johnny Storm.
I'm not
That's
even
what
a
to
comic
say.
book reader like that, but even I know Johnny Storm be getting cheeks.
So from the comics,
Yeah.
that's his personality is like that because obviously, right, he has some other things going on, but
Like
he's
what?
still able to be a womanizing, like he'd be sad and shit. But he's still a womanizer, right? And he's still able to, get the cheeks. And then on top of that, it made he acts like he doesn't care about a lot of things, which makes it so more profound when he dies in the comic books, sacrificing himself for people. Because he pretends like he doesn't care about that shit.
Exactly.
That's the character.
Exactly.
movie's a
And that's
mess.
the problem with Hollywood today. They so fixated on it. Like, what the fuck do you mean that's not sexy these days? What do you mean? Why so many womanizing niggas getting pussy then?
Women like that shit. I don't even know why they lying. You think men was going to Aquaman to see Jason Momoa? No, the women was. Women like that
$1 billion
shit.
movie. Women went to see Aquaman.
They sure did. They went to see Aquaman for sure.
I don't think this casting's going to be good.
Why you looking like that, bro?
Nah, because I was gonna say something, but I ain't trying to get paused.
Gets paused anyway.
What you mean? Whoa, what you finna say?
I wasn't finna say shit, man. Just keep going. Just
He
keep
was
going.
Trey's about to be like, hey, that's why I went to see Aquaman.
Fuck you, nigga. I wasn't finna say that shit at all.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be flaming on all right in this new one for sure.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
But it gets worse. It
Niggas gonna hey, listen, when that nigga say flame on, niggas in the theater gonna be like, ha! Gay!
yeah, he's gonna every time he takes a piss, he's gonna have to say flame on. But yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse. Because we have Sue Storm as well, who's focused on gender politics. In
They
this,
just
in this
can't
version.
stop. I thought we were fooled. Anybody who thought they might have learned their lesson the last few years, nah.
You
Now,
want to talk
granted-
about killing momentum in a week?
Right, because people were excited to see this shit, huh?
Yeah, I wanted to see it.
I mean, I was
This is
still going to
bad
see it, but like
for the
it
for
come
the
out in
movies.
June.
Like in general, this is bad. This is because
Yeah.
it's coming down to July being the be all end all for the superhero genre. People are losing faith in Superman by the day because
Fact.
that marketing is ass. And then you got this movie, which was supposed to like recoup that momentum, and they're putting out double header hits like this. This is bad news, man. Nobody
I mean,
wants
why
this
would you
shit.
why would you put out a teaser of Superman getting his back grabbed by his dog?
Because it's cute. It's the dog, right? Oh my god, look at the dog jumping on you. Oh my god, Superman with his
Move this man!
I want to hear that bullshit. This nigga,
Oh man. Let me tell you what she said about Sue Storm. Where is it? It's right here.
Go ahead.
This
I'm
is
just,
rough.
Hold on, let me find it. Why are they bringing up the Malice shit? That's what I want to know. Why are they talking about Malice with Sue?
Oh, it's
this early?
trendy.
Okay.
Like
It's just-
you're bringing in her into the MCU. Why are you already talking about Malice?
we're never
doesn't
going to
make
see
any-
Malice. It's never going to
Yeah.
happen.
But there's no point in even bringing that up and putting that into the character, because that's that's down the line.
It's down the line, but I think she's trying, in the context of this interview, I think she's just trying to make it look like she did her homework.
That makes sense.
Because I'm sure with the nonsense that Disney has sustained with Captain America, you had Anthony Mackie shooting his mouth off every week. You had the blowout with Snow White. I have to think that the social media team is prepping them on what to say. So for Vanessa Kirby to be in an interview and for her to name drop Malice and for her to talk like she thinks she knows what she's talking about, like that's supposed to be like, oh, well, they're doing this one by the book, you guys. This is going to be honoring the comic book. So I think it's a bluff.
Yeah, they didn't even. We should have known that they were going this route because they're doing female Silver Surfer. You know what I mean?
That means the movie was cooked right there. You couldn't even do Silver Surfer correctly.
Flat chested female Silver Surfer, by the way. Not even with the busties. She got to be flat chested. You know, the one time that she showed up in a comic, like in one panel. You know, they're like, oh, it's in the comic book, so let's put her in the movie. Where is it? Here it is. I was obsessed with that chapter of her life, talking about Malice, saying, so I wanted to make sure that there were tones of Malice in there with her, that she wasn't just the stereotype of a goody, sweet mother. When you say that, that's how I know you didn't do your homework.
Yeah, this is a bluff, man.
You didn't do your homework. Sue Storm is one of the most powerful superheroes in the fucking in Marvel Comics. And yes, she can be motherly because she is a mother and she's a wife, but she's badass. She will beat your ass. You're like, I don't know why they keep doing that. I don't know why they keep pretending like a woman being feminine is like a bad thing. She has to be like some kind of leader and like some kind of icon, where she can't just be a feminine woman that's strong. I don't understand that, man.
Yeah, but she could, and even with that, like she's still like co-captain of the team.
Yeah,
Like she's
Of
still the
four people. Of four people.
yeah. But it's like
it's Reed Richards,
and-
Sue Storm,
yeah,
and the Thing. I think the Thing is above Johnny, if you want to be honest.
Yes.
Johnny's last, and then the Thing is third, Sue is second, and Reed is first.
But she's the most powerful one of them all, ain't she?
technically yes, because of what she can do. So
Yeah,
she is.
yes,
She's the most
and-
powerful. She's also hyper intelligent. So she's not.
Johnny's pretty strong. Johnny's pretty strong too.
She's not as smart as Reed Richards or Doom, but like she's up there. She knows what this stuff is. She
Yeah.
knows all the science stuff. I wish they didn't take it and go like this is supposed to be reintroducing Fantastic Four. The fact that they're going with the Nathaniel Richards, where she's pregnant storyline,
Mhm.
they should have just done a Fantastic Four movie. But this is hedging their bets to bring Nathaniel Richards in to clean up the multiverse because he's going to be
Yep.
the one that snaps his fingers and resets after Secret War. So
I
this
hate
is
that,
rushed
man.
bullshit.
That's something that you don't do in your first movie with the Fantastic Four. That's something that you do after, I don't know, maybe they're
I don't think
movie
I
of a
don't think that they're
trilogy.
treating it like their first movie with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah,
They're
that's the
treating
problem.
it. They're treating it like the Fantastic Four has already been there, or not at least in our whatever the MCU is currently. But I don't know. I'm more interested because I'm already checked out at this point.
Yeah.
Johnny Storm is not Johnny Storm. Sue Storm is not Sue Storm. I'm gonna assume that Reed isn't Reed either.
We've barely seen
he's
anything
played by-
with Pedro Pascal.
He's played by Pedro Pascal, so we don't even need to worry about that. He's
The fact
not
they've
Reed
hardly
Richards.
shown him in any of the promos is very telling.
So
Scary.
knowing that, the only thing I'm interested in now is how they're going to weave all this shit together. I mean, like when you talk about Endgame and Infinity War, there was so much build up to that. There is no fucking build up to Doomsday at all or
None.
Secret Wars.
Nothing.
And you know what's going to suck worse is after Secret Wars you're starting over anyway. So why are you bringing in the Fantastic Four just to when you reset your universe, you're gonna have to restart
But
everything
reset
again.
it to what though?
X-Men. They're going to
New-
reset
they're
it
gonna-
with X-Men.
There you go.
They're gonna have a new universe. The X-Men's gonna be there. You know, they're probably gonna make Charles and fucking Magneto black and civil rights leaders or some shit like that.
Well,
you know.
actually, see, that's what's really interesting. X-Men, unlike everything else, like Fantastic Four, you could do it at any time. X-Men is tied to the timeline of real life. World War II is a very big factor. We are extraordinarily far away from World War II. So Magneto, you're going to have to come up with a new origin for Magneto. So don't be surprised if they make Xavier and Eric Lensher black. I mean, it would be something they would have to do because they waited so long to get it off the ground.
I'm so afraid of that, bro. I'm so afraid because you already got dumbasses.
Well,
that
I
think
mean,
that's
they
why
can
were
say
created anyway.
they could do something to where they say, I mean, because you don't have to give them a new origin story. You can just say the Holocaust happened much later.
Oh, they would have to. Because it would be unbelievable that you're going to have 100-year-old Magneto floating around and still kicking it. The comic books handled this. They had to de-age him and give him super soldier bullshit to keep Magneto alive in the current comic timeline. So they're going to either have to come up with some nonsense like that or rewrite it from scratch.
They're going to do it, bro. I'm telling you. Charles Xavier is going to be black. Magneto is going to be black. And they're going to be civil rights leaders that happen to be mutants, and that's why they're so hard to get. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen, and it's going to drive me fucking insane. I know it's going to happen.
Well,
but yeah,
let's see how this summer goes, man, because it's not looking good. Will these movies make $1 billion?
Probably not. No,
but
I don't think so.
Will they hit 800? Will they hit 800 million? Because that'll be the
Fantastic Four.
I think Fantastic Four.
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know though, because we just had Black Cap. That barely hit 400.
But that movie was surrounded by so much controversy.
Yeah.
There's
I don't know, man.
And then we're talking about it was called Captain America, but it was really the Falcon. Nobody gives a shit about the fucking Falcon. And Anthony Mackie isn't a draw like that. You can say a lot of things about this Fantastic Four casting, but you can't say that Pedro Pascal isn't a draw. People are tired of him, yes, but he is a familiar face and a familiar name.
He's
coupled that with the fact that he's playing Mr. fucking Fantastic, and it's the Fantastic Four. I'm not saying they're gonna make a Billy, but I can damn sure see Multiverse of Madness numbers.
I don't see that
I agree
at all.
I agree. Yeah, I think it's gonna hit 800.
I don't think it can, man. I just don't see the hype around the MCU. I don't see it.
We don't never see the hype around the MCU, but I mean, we didn't see the hype around Minecraft either.
Well, that got saved by memes. That was totally different.
That got saved by high schoolers.
You know what I mean? A bunch of kids started memeing it, and then they went to the theater. Which, and speaking of that movie, it's probably going to have a major drop off this weekend. To be honest,
that's what I think. And everybody's like, "Oh, it's going to do amazing." I don't think so. Memes come and go quick.
He's gonna have a major drop off because theaters aren't gonna be playing that shit no more. But I don't even think Thunderbolts is gonna hit 500. I don't even think it's gonna make that much.
Thunderbolts is gonna flop. Thunderbolts is gonna flop.
There's no way I see the Fantastic Four doing 800. That would be surprising. Okay, if it hit 800, I would be surprised.
You want to make the
that
bet
will
right
only
now?
happen. You said what?
Want to make the bet right now?
That it doesn't hit 800.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's the stipulation? Do we want the chat to make? We can make the chat. We can have the chat do the stipulation. What's the stipulation? Because I don't think it's hitting 800. The only way that it hits 800 is word of mouth. That's the only way. If it comes out and the movie's good and it starts to generate buzz, that's the only way I see it. Like having
so that's one caveat I would like because obviously I would lose the bet right off rip if the reviews come out and it's garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like,
reviews are going to love
it. Huh?
The critics are going to love it. They're going to love it. They're going to eat it up.
Yeah, just
it's
like
going to be
loved,
92%, 95%.
The movie is at least decent because I don't want to be like, oh yeah, it got to have a 9 and then it'll make 800. No, I'm not doing that. If the movie is decent, if it's not a fucking disaster, right? I think it'll make 800 million.
I don't see you hitting it.
Right. I mean,
Well,
and
let me-
that's fine.
hold
That's
on.
what we're making the bet on. So as long as
Yeah,
the movie's
chat.
not a
What's the
disaster,
stipulations? What's the stipulation? He's over. Okay, so I'm under. You're over, right? I'm under 800. You're over. All right. Let me see. Movies releasing. This releases in June, right?
July.
Or July? In July,
think it's
because I
July.
know, because you have. I'm pretty sure you have. What's the name? You have Jurassic Park coming out, right?
That's gonna
you
do
have
good numbers. That might beat them both.
Yeah, I think that's gonna make huge numbers, even though
I
it's
don't. The
fucking.
last one flopped like crazy.
It made over $1 billion.
It made
The
over $1
last
billion.
one?
Yeah, it made over $1
dude. It
billion.
was a terrible
Sure
movie,
did.
but it made a shitload of money.
Sure did make over $1 billion.
Which one
These
of them
movies make
flopped?
a
There was
lot
one
of
of them that flopped.
None of them flopped.
That would have been the original.
That might have been
Jurassic
Jurassic
Parks.
Park in the Hood. My bad.
They all make over $1 billion. All right, so you got Jurassic World. You got let me see.
Oh, shit.
What is this? You got
You just got
Superman, right?
Big old super chat on this.
Did we? Yeah.